Welcome in, Cowboys Nation, to Game Day Live, the halftime show. Skywalker Still, Jesse Holley, the Cowboys dominating the LA Rams 33-9 as the Rams put on a touchdown at the end of the half there. But concerning possible news with Matthew Stafford there, two out of three plays, he kind of got his hand hit, and we'll see what's happening there with the thumb. Me and Jesse were discussing it in the back. We don't like to see that. But what we do like to see is a 33-9 score where what a weird start. Allow me to kind of walk you through the start. First play of the game, Chuma Edoga, whooped, sack. Third play of the game, sack. We thought on third down it would be another sack, but it was overturned with not overturned, but there was a illegal contact. The Cowboys take advantage of it, go down and score, and then things just went crazy. You had a block punt. You had Cowboys continuing to go down and score on offense. You had a pick six by Deron Bland, and the floodgates just opened, Jesse. And those things that you talked about, energy and effort and starting off fast, it happened for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We talked about it, having the energy, having a good rhythm, and executing. And I don't think the Cowboys, outside of those first couple plays in that early series with the offensive line having their struggles, this team has been executing on all cylinders today. Everybody is playing well. Deron Bland, third pick six of the season. And before CeeDee Lamb had his 2 touchdowns, Deron Bland led all players on this football team in touchdowns with 3. He and CeeDee are now tied with 3. Tony Pollard has 2.
And Ferg has 3, I think, now.
Extending plays, using his legs to get what he needs. Jake Ferguson with a touchdown. Where? Down the middle of the football field, like we said in the pregame show. But everybody, you see, they're playing Jalen Tolbert more often, but they're getting CeeDee Lamb the ball. 9 catches, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns on 10 targets in the first half of football. And then once you get down and you become one-dimensional and you have to pass, that's the things that Micah Parsons wake up in the morning and get excited about. And he has shown improved. I think he has 2 sacks already. Would have had a strip sack fumble, but they ruled it an incomplete pass. And this defense is getting after it. So you have the punt return, the block, punt. I mean, everything is going well for the Cowboys. 58-yard down the middle field goal for Brandon Aubrey. I called him the El Bombay of the football team. All right. So this team is clicking on all cylinders. This is what you wanted to see. Coming out of a bye, right? We've seen Mike McCarthy, creativity, formations, schematics, motions, use Turpin in the passing play, Rico Dowdle's in the passing play, Jalen Tolbert's getting more passes, the tight ends are getting more passes, 4 targets to the tight ends already. So you see what we asked for from Mike McCarthy coming out of the bye week, and it's showing improvement right now with a 33-point halftime point output. Hopefully they can continue this on and don't take their foot off the gas, and keep this thing throttled to the floor.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Between Mike and Dak, I have on Twitter here, I feel like Dak is just locked in this first half, and he's in sync, I think, with Mike. So what I mean by that is you're seeing Dak get to the line of scrimmage, and he's just commanding it. He's just doing things at the line, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it seems like it's working more often than not at this point. A 17 for 21, 225, 3 touchdowns in the first half. That interception, shots out to was a Kobe Turner with the tip at the line of scrimmage. I personally not a fan of getting first and goal, going empty in that situation, and shotgun. Don't really like it. However, technically the mesh was there. Sean McEwen was breaking open, but great tip. Nonetheless, that's really the only thing that I can really complain about in regards to the offense, because that's an actual turnover. You want to see the run game kind of get going here in the second half, but it's one of those situations where you don't get bored with profit. The run game is more so right now being used to keep things on track. The passing game is absolutely obliterating these dudes. Those young cornerbacks cannot stop anything the Cowboys are doing. You'll see some cool schemes, some cool concepts. One was that first down throw you talked about, the Kevontae Turpin, where you put those DBs in a blender, and then they just cannot stop CeeDee Lamb. It really doesn't matter what route CeeDee Lamb is running. He's getting open, and Dak is finding them. Between Lamb and Jake Ferguson, 13 targets, 12 receptions, 164 yards, 3 touchdowns between those two guys. So this offense is on an absolute roll. And like you said, you want to keep your foot on the pedal coming out here. I don't want to come out here and throttle this thing down because we've seen teams do some funky things in the NFL this year.
Yeah, and the thing about with CeeDee Lamb, it's not that this is something that we like, oh, it's a new revelation that CeeDee Lamb can play football. No, it's always been that way. And this was his big frustration, a couple of weeks ago, is saying like, Doc, just get me the ball. Like if you just get me the ball, good things is going to happen. And you see that in the last couple of games where he's actually getting the football. Like I get it. The Cowboys want to distribute the ball all over the field. And right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys at least has one catch. But it should never – like there should be very few games that CeeDee Lamb goes and he's third on the target list. I get formations and I get the defensive schemes and all that kind of stuff. Nah, man. No. Nah, this is the dude. And when you get him the football, you see the passing game open up. This is what – number one wide receivers look like in the National Football. This is what the A.J. Browns and the Justin Jeffersons and the Tyreek Hills and those of the world. This is the type of love that they get. They get the 10 targets at halftime, the over 100 yards by halftime. When you try to make this thing about, oh, we're just distributing the ball to everybody, we don't care really who get it. Nah. You have to care about who gets it.
Yeah.
Not only who gets it, but how many times they get it and where the hell they getting the ball at. And so now that you're seeing CeeDee Lamb kind of, get more attention and more love like he's been asking for, you see this offense do just a tremendous job on opening this thing up, scoring more points. And one thing that we can't forget about, shout out to my boy and former teammate DeMarcus Ware, who's getting his Ring of Honor ceremony happening at halftime right now. So much love and respect to D. Ware, man, one of the greatest teammates I've ever had in any sport on any level.
Shouts out to D. Ware. He would be extremely proud of what this defense is doing on the other side of the ball, absolutely harassing Matt Stafford. And in pregame, me and this former Dallas Cowboy, Jesse Holley, we talked about something you had to do to get Matt Stafford off his game, and that was pressure Matt Stafford. And the Cowboys have pressured him and made him look like a JV quarterback. He's 10 for 19 right now, less than 100 yards. The pick 6, which was an awful decision because he was pressured up the middle there. And unfortunately, though, it seems like he might potentially be hurt. And that's what happens, right? Look, 1 sack, Jesse. It's been 1 credited sack in the first half, but they're hitting him and they're pressuring him. And that 1 sack really rattled his brain, maybe quite literally, because Micah Parsons just drove him right into the ground, mess up his shoulder, mess up his – when you're physical with these quarterbacks like that don't run around much, that aren't used to getting hit like that in the sense of, like that type of hit, that affects them for the rest of the game. So, I don't know if Matt's even going to be out here in the second half, but if he is, I bet you that timing is going to be firing fast. You won't really see those deep routes. They got a dig off. They did get a deep dagger off to I think it was 2-2 on the third down. But I think Dan Quinn will take that. You can say, hey, keep trying that because we're getting after you up here. That offensive line really isn't doing well against the Cowboys pass rush.
And the one thing about Matthew Stafford, boy, like there aren't many quarterbacks that are tougher than him physically, right? Like if he's out of this game, that's a serious injury. He's going to do everything he possibly can. And the time that they got into the locker room, to the time it's trying to come out on the football field, because the Rams get the ball after the half, to be back out there and to be quarterback. I mean, we've seen that on numerous occasions, but when you're talking about the thumb and the way that thumb was shaking and rattling, got caught in the helmet. I don't remember who helmet
maybe
got caught.
Osa, I think.
It was Osa. Yeah, and I remember back when I was playing, I broke my thumb in a similar fashion. My thumb got caught in the top part of someone's helmet, and they pulled away, and I pulled the opposite way, and the tip of my thumb was like this and broke. It was broke. Now, I didn't have to play and grip the football and play quarterback. He does. And if you can't grip the football, then you're no good for this football team. You saw that last throw where he tried to grip it and throw it, but DeMarcus Lawrence got to him, and that thing was sailed out of bounds before they went to the half. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Matthew Stafford when they come out of the half, because I know that the Cowboys been dominating, but you got to finish the game, right? They score before the half, they get the ball back at halftime. They try to do that little double dip, right? The middle 8, score in the last 4 minutes, score in the first 4 minutes, and now you have a 2-possession football game with a long way to go. So anything can happen. I hope Matthew Stafford's okay because I don't want to see any players get hurt. But that
No.
thumb did look like it was a serious situation.
Yeah, and again, tough, one of the toughest dudes, but no matter how tough you are, no quarterback wants to deal with pressure all day. And Matt Stafford this year has been one of the worst quarterbacks dealing with pressure. So again, even if it's only 1 sack in the second half, if you're continuing to put the pressure on him, he's going to give you some. And we talked about this throughout the week. You know, as good as Matt is with his arm, he is going to give you some because he has arm arrogance and he just feels like he can make all the throws and make all the correct reads. Well, when you got a guy like DaRon Bland, who, I mean, that play, I can't wait to break it down. They show the aerial view of it. First of all, shouts out to Jordan Lewis for carrying his man upfield without running into DaRon Bland, because that's what they're trying to essentially cause that chaos, right? Cause that traffic. But the way DaRon Bland kind of dipped his shoulder to get underneath that route, he was in great position. If you wanted to throw it to the sideline, cool, you get a nice little 8-yard gain, but you're going out of bounds. If you throw it any inch inside more, that is a pick six. And Matt Stafford threw it way inside, and he took it to the crib, man. And 3 pick sixes in 7 games is phenomenal. And I remember when Diggs went down, I think we talked about this. I said, just give DB a couple games. I'm not worried about DB. Like, I've seen this man play fantastically.
We both said it.
Yeah, like
we both said it.
I'm not
said,
saying,
listen, you don't replace
we ain't gonna replace Diggs, but
this is
young
not
man
a bad
nice.
guy to go ahead and adjust with.
Yeah, this young man's nice. It really wasn't about him, in my opinion. It was about the depth, right? Can you deal with another one? Now we need, Jordan Lewis to play like that veteran that he is, and today these guys are playing some phenomenal defense on that side of the ball.
They are. Everything's clicking on all cylinders, man. And of course, when you score points on offense and on defense and on special teams, I mean that's a damn good feeling, man. And for a 12 noon game, the Cowboys that came out, they in their loudest Lawrence Fishburne, they woke up. The crowd's into it. They're into it. And we got to get back to this game so that they can finish the second half so that we can go enjoy the rest of our day with a dub.
Indeed, Cowboys Nation. That is the Cowboy Game Day Live halftime show. Make sure you guys come on back for the post-game show, the BT Furnishing post-game show, and hopefully, which I'm pretty sure we might get a little flex here, but it'd be nice if it was like a 40 burger. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so kickoff is coming up here on Fox. Make sure you guys come on back for join us, Skywalker Still, Jesse, Holley, A to Z Sports post-game show a little bit later. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.